きかりさんこんばんは。こんばんは。うわーうわー久しぶりに声出したな。途中喋れないかもしれないというわけでなんて読むんだったっけ。ザ・ストロリー・パワー・ブ・タウチョ・フェイ・フェイってやつやっていきたいと思います。なんて読むこれザ・スタンリー・パラブルウルトラ・デラックスかなのか果たして大丈夫ではなかった。大丈夫じゃないんだよな、全く1ミリも大丈夫じゃないんだよ僕もね、どういうゲームかあんまり知らないんだけど、なんかあれらしい。なんかこう天の声みたいなのが聞こえてきて、その人の指示通りに動くか、動くもよし動かないもよしみたいなので、めちゃめちゃエンディングがあるらしい。よくわからんがなんか半額セールだったからちょっと買ってみた。売り上げ上位にあったからっていうやつです。日本語パソコンがギリギリ見えるぐらいまでスライドを調整してくださいこれどういうこと。明るさってこと。これギリギリ見えるぐらいってどんぐらい。いやギリギリのギリギリがわからんないけど、これ全く見えないな。いやこれギリギリ見えるけどな。いやでもこれ配信上見えないかこんぐらいこんぐらいか。これマックスか。これマックスですか。マックスでいいか現在の時刻はPM9 時10。これ関係あんのかな。6分だ。16分。アクセシビリティ設定をメインメニューからアクセスできます。OK。よくわからんが見たことある。全然わかんないけどな。セッティング、視野角とかあるんだ。広めの方がいいかな。80ぐらい字幕オン、日本語。コントローラー振動、コントローラーじゃないけどな。カメラ感度5。マイかこれでコントロール、進む WDS ジャンプ。こんだけ ?OK。WASD スペースだけ OK。しゃがむは R はインタグラード、しゃがむ、コントロール。オートウォークなんだこれ。オートウォークってなんだようわからんな。まあいいか。ローディング。クリックすると。
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
ちょっとうるさい。うるさいけど。
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
従業員427として働いてました。従業員427は仕事はいたって簡単。うるさいな。
He sat at his
デス
desk
クに
in
向かい
room
キーボードのボタンを押すだけで
427
す。
and he
簡単だ
pushed
な。
buttons
うるさい
on
な。
Orders came to him through a
机のモニターを
monitor
通
at
してき
the
ました。
desk,
どの
telling
ボ
him
タンをどれ
what
くらい押せばいい
buttons
か
to
教えてくれ
push,
る。
how long to push them, and
ちょっとうるさいな。ちょっとナレー
this
ター
is the story of a man
ナレーターう
named
るさいな、おい。
Stanley.
こんぐらいでいいか。全体的にうるさい、まさか。
In what order?
ああ、こんぐらいでいいん
This
じゃ
is
ない？
what employee
従業員427は
427
何ヶ
did
月
every
何年
day,
もこの作業を繰り返して
every
ました。
month of every
はいはい
year. And although others
他の
might
人
have
たちにとっては
considered it
魂が引き裂かれるようだったかもしれない。しかし、スタンリーは指令が入るために楽しんでました。まるでこの仕事をするために生まれてきたかのようです。427。スタンリーは幸せでした。終わりかな。
And then one day something very peculiar
とて
happened.
もいい気分なこと。
Something that would
そんなスタ
forever
ーリー
change
を
Stanley.
絵に描いてしまう
Something he
彼
would
は忘れる
never
ことのできない
quite
何かが。
forget. He had been at
1
his
時間
desk
近
for
くデ
nearly
スク
an
に向か
hour
っていたの
when
に、
he
モニターから
realized
一
that
つも
not
指令が来てない
one
ことに気がつきまし
single
た。ほう
order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one
他
had
に指
showed
令を
up
出す
to
人
give
も
him
会議を開く人も挨拶
instructions.
する人、
Call a
もう誰
meeting.
もいない。ちょ
Or
っともうちょっと静かにし、ちょっとうるさいな。60ぐらいでいいか。ちょっと、声張れないから、ちょっと今日、ちょっと、もうちょっと静かに。
even say
あ、オッケーオッケー。
hi.
ああ、いい。
Never in all his
入
years
社
at
し
the
てから一度だって
company
こんな完
had
全な
this
孤立はありませんでし
this
た。入
complete
社してから一度だって
isolation. Something was
明らか
very
に何か
clearly
変だ。
wrong.
シ
Shocked,
ョックで固まったスタンリーは長い
frozen
こと身動きが取らな
solid,
っていまし
Stanley
た。
found himself unable to move
指
for
示
the
待ちなんだ
longest
完
time.
全にすごいね
But。as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got
デ
up
スクを
from
離
his
れ彼の
desk
部屋を出
and
て行きま
stepped
した。
out of his office.
ほう。ほう。ほう。静かにしていい。あんま喋んないかもしれない。ああ、もう始まってんのこれ。あ、始まる。ああちょっとカメラ感度強いな、これ。ああ、もうちょいかな。1? あ、これ音いいね。あ、こんぐらい。こんぐらいでいいや。あ、オッケーオッケーオッケーオッケー。すごいすごい。これ何したらいいんだろう。これ 0.5 ないですか？ 0.5。感度高いの。あ、0でもいいな。あ、0でもいい
All
わ
of。his co-workers were gone.
彼のどれぞれ全員いなくなってしまったのです。ス
Stanley decided
タ
to
ンリー
go
は
to the
会
meeting
議
room.
室に向かうと
Perhaps
お
he
そ
had
らく
simply
彼は
missed the
伝言を
memo.
見落としたのでしょう。ああ、なるほどね。あ、入れなくなってる。427だったよね。あ、入れなくなってる。
Stanley went around touching every
オ
little
フィスの
thing
あらゆ
in
る
the
ものを触って
office,
まいりました。
but it
で
didn't
も
make a
少しも変わ
single
らない。しかし
difference.
物語は進
Nor
展しま
did
せ
it
んでした。
advance the story in any way.
おい、これめちゃめちゃ喋るゲームじゃないか、これ。おい、そんな。
No
431
matter
もいな
how
い。
hard Stanley looked,
同僚たち
he
の痕跡
couldn't
が見つ
find
か
a
りません。
trace of his
いや、
co-workers.
完全にいたけどな。完全に痕跡あるだろ。もうパソコンついてるじゃねえか。完全に。あ、鉛筆削り懐かしい、これ。コピー。
Oh, please.
本当に
Are you
実績の
really
た
just
めだ
doing
け。
this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I
なん
can't just
そ
give
のちっ
these
ちゃい努
merits
力のため
away
に
for
功
such
績なんか
good
与えられ
effort.
ませんよ。
A measly
こ
5
れ俺何番だ
clicks.
ったっけ？
Now
427
suppose
だったっ
you
け？
were
あ、
to click the
427
door
だ。
20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that
や
warrants
かましいな、こい
recognition.
つ。うっとうしいな。入れるとこないの？おい、誰もいない。419。421。これでも一人一人部屋あるっていいね。いい会社だ。あ、グリーンだ。こっちだ。絶対こっちだ。なんかすごい。見て。なんだあのグラフ。なんだこれ。なんか変なおじさんみたいなのおる。
When Stanley came to a
2
set
つ
of
の開いた
two
ドアがある。
open
彼は
doors,
左の
he
ドアに
entered
入
the
りました
door on his
あ、
left.
こういうこと。これ通りに進むか否かみたいな。わあ、すごい。目かき消しこういう椅子好きなんだよね、結構。あ、それなかった。とりあえず、指示通り進むか。はいはいはい。完全にいたな、こいつ。いなくなったな。あ、これさっきの部屋じゃないね。
Yet there was not a
誰
single
もいません
person
でした。
here
何これ
either.
マンデー、チューズデー、ウェン
Feeling
ズ
a
デー。
wave of
進化の
disbelief,
波が押し寄せます。
Stanley
スタンリーはそ
decided
こに
to
ない。
go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
上の階にいたと。 ふう。静かにするわ。すごいなこれ。あ、開いた。
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
指示通り進んでみよう。トイレだ。トイレ。あ、この木やたらあるな。じゃあこんばんは。ヤッホー。席はね、大丈夫じゃない。ジャンプできるって書いてなかった。しゃがみしかできないや。うわ、すごい。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
マネージャーの部屋めちゃめちゃいいな。
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number.
Go, 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 go!
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
なんか暗なったんだけど。なんかこっち開いてたっけ？なにこれ？急に暗なったんだけど。おお、危ねえ。落ちたらやばいやつ。一回入ってみる、とりあえず。あ、違う。こっち正規ルートですか？そういうことでもこれ。あ、実績のロック解除した。なんかこう入れるけど。落ちろってことはやっぱり。なんもないけど。なんか見ます。これ落ちるで正解？落ちてみるね。おい。あ。よし。よしよしよし。まあそういうこともある。
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
おい、なんかエスケープって書いてるぞ。こっち行きたいな。ちょっとこれでもとりあえず進むか。ピコーン。
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
すごいなんかすごくない？
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
めちゃめちゃ監視されとるやん。
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley
お、427どこだ 427。
eternally monitored in this place where freedom
427探せ427。あ、もうすぐだ。あった、427。あ、俺の部屋だ。あ、これどっちが来たっけ？あ、こっちが。やば。誰が見るんこれ。
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's
あれなんだろうね、
control
あの
all
1個
this
だけ
time?
空
Was
白
this
の
the
やつ。
only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
おいおいおい、危険なマーク出てるぞ。
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even
おー、す
possible?
ごいなんかアトラク
Had
ション
he
っぽい。
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
おー、なん
It
か
was the proof. The heart of the
ユニバっぽい
operation.
な、なんか。
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored
全て
and
命令され
commanded
てた
from
んだ。
this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
なんてなんて言ってた？ごめん、聞いてなかったや。なんて言ってた？解体するのですって言ってたね、なんか。まあ、こっちだろうな。降りれるな、でも。ダンスミュージックホールみたいなとこに。あれこれパソコンの音なんだろうな、こうどっかを調査しようとすると。いいな、なんかこの空間。あ、5番。あ、5番。え？あ、これあんのか？ 1 番から。3番。1番。1番。2番。3番。4番。4番どこだ？ 4 番あった？こっちか？どこだ4番？ 4 番ないぞ。4番どこ？あ、上か？あれ4じゃない？いや、上がれないんだが？蹴れ。蹴れ。こいつジャンプできねえじゃん。押せないんだけど。後からですか？そんなことある？これ後戻りなんてあれないからね。あ、なんかこれ、ペペポポパロパロパロパロパロペペパロパロペペポポロポロポロ。おい、なんだこれ。関係ないのか？飛ばしシステムパワーオフ。
When at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation
Oh,
to put an
終わらせれるんだ。
end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
オフにせえと。おうおーおーおーおーおーおー。あ、ごめん、これ僕の水の音ね。終わり？
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it
終
over?
わった？
Yes.
おお、
He had won.
彼は勝ったのです。
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
終わり？
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still
たくさんの
lay
謎が
unsolved.
解き明かされてない。
Where had his co-workers gone?
同僚たちどこ
How
に行った？
had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had
what?
been seeking.
ガチ終わり？
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go.
おい、何の謎も解き明かさぬまま終わったぞ。
What to do or how to
ただ出ただけ。
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
すげえ、でも外だ。あ、出れる出れる。お、足りてなくない？あ、足りてるわ。あー、すごい。
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of a new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that
エンディ
things
ング
were
はね、
meant
なん
to
か
happen.
腐るほどあるらしい。
And Stanley was happy.
スタンリーは幸せに暮らしましたとさ。終わり？第1エンドです、今の。全く何も謎を解かないまま終わってしまった。
All of his co-workers were gone.
ああ、また最初からだ。
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, please.
よ
Are
っ
you
し
really
ゃ
just doing this
ー。
for the
今度は本気
achievement?
出すぞ。
Click a door 5 times.
調べられる
Is
と
that
こ
all
も
that
ど
you
こで
think
も
an
調べてや
achievement
る
is
からな、
worth?
本当に
No,
も
no,
う。
no, no, no. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort.
こんな短いゲームだったんだと思わせないぐらい。
Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say
ちょっと今度は
that's the kind of
右の
effort
ドア
that
に行ってみ
warrants
よう。
recognition.
あ、右行きま
When
す。
Stanley came to a set of
左じゃなくて
two
右。
open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
はいはい
Stanley
はい
knew
はい
it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop
従
by
業員
the
のラウンジに
employee
立ち寄るそれを
lounge
褒めたたえたか
first,
ったんでし
just
ょ
to
はい
admire
はいはい
it.
はい。仕事してないやつ多ないかな。ああ、来たラウンジ。
Yes, truly a room worth
いい
admiring.
ね。
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this
ほ
immaculate,
んの少し過ごすだ
beautifully
けでいい。
constructed room.
座ろ
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
う。しゃがむ速度だけ異常に速いよな、これ。見て。スクワット選手権第1位だ。
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the
こ
room.
んなとこにコーヒーメーカーあるよ。
Room so utterly kept, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first
最初
open
の
door
左
on
の
his
ドアに
left.
入りました。あ、ここか。あ、ここはちょっと信じてみるか。ちょっと見ていい？ここ行ったら戻るんじゃない？戻んないかな？一回戻ってみるか。
And so he detoured
違 う
through the
な。
maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and
あ
got
ー、
back
こ
on
れ
track.
正しいルートだ。戻った。あ、ここ見たよね。あ、戻るんだ。戻っちゃった。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an
上の
answer
階のオフィ
there.
スに行くと。ここ こなんか怪しいよな。 繰
繰
り返さないでよ。何？これ2回目というあれはあるのか、概念。まさかこいつ2回目ということに気づいてて、この俺をもてあそんでいるのか。下行ってみよう。下行こう。絶対下行くもんね。おいやばい。おいやばい。車だ。どうしてもできなかった。
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
夢だ。これは全部夢なんだ。
This is all a dream.
間違いない。
What a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose soon I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying.
地上に静かに浮かび始めた。おい、なんかナレーションおかしなこと言い出しちゃって。
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
お、なんか暗なってきたって。おい、なんか埃見えるって。たまにあるやつやん、こんなん。おいおいおい。12B4。覚えといて。4時半に2時。
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. He knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
おいおい、これ終わりか？うん。
Stanley began.
発狂し始めたって。誰か起こして私の名前はスタンリー。おい、頭おかしなっとるって。やばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。おい、頭おかしなっとる。すべて真っ赤になりました。一瞬目覚めるな、本当に。
This is the story of a woman
これはマリエラという名の女の物語。何マリエラ物語始まったって。
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
お、スタンリーと妻の馴れ初め聞いてんのか今。
For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had today. The very important impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this.
死体を見下ろしたな、ほんと。死体なん。おいおい、それは会議どころじゃないって。おい、立ち去るな。助けてやれ、ほんとに。頼むよ、ほんとに。終わりこれ。終わったって。何やったんあれ。何やったんですか？見捨てられただけ？妻に。あれ、妻ですか？果たして。妻だったん？いやもうどういなくなったんじゃないのよ。そんなことはもうどうでもいいのよ。どういうこと？あ、いった、我慢左。じゃあ右ちょっとつ盲信しよう。ああ。もう絶対右行くもんね。ああ、もうこんなものはどうでもいい。
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
よっしゃ、もうこんなとこでくつろいでる暇ない。
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
こんなドア無視だ。
Stanley was so bad.
指示にしたことその前だ何年もクビにならなかったの信じられます。確かにな。ああ、なんか工場みたいなとこ来たね。A4 コピー用紙。Warning. Danger.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
人間だもの。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
そうだろ、スタンリー。
The lounge was sublime, a work of art.
ラウンジは一つの芸術作
But
品。
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
ドアなんて無視だ。
Stanley was so bad at following directions. It's incredible.
これでもさ、
years ago.
乗ったらダメなんじゃないの？
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off
お
on
ー、
the
いい
wrong
感じね。
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
あなたの敵じゃないの、本当
I
に違う。
realize that investing in your
他
trust
人
in
を知らぬの
someone
難
else
し
can
い
be。difficult.
ああ、確かにな。ちょっと人を信じることをね、ちょっとやめてきたから。
Nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
すごいな、アマゾン倉庫みたいだな。見たことないけど。
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.
あ、これさっき見たぞ。発電機みたいなやつ。
Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
これ絶対、まあ何も触れないんだろうな、ドア開ける以外は。多分何も持ち物とかはなさそうな気がする。あ、怖い。怖い。おお、びっくりした。
That's her, Stanley.
彼女ですよ。
You need to be the one to do
彼女に手をなしられる必要がある。
If you can truly place your faith in
電話に
another,
出て。出なかったらどうなるんだろう。まあ、出るか。物語の続きか？あ、 あ、スタンリー
Hold
よ。
on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting.
スイーテ
I'm
ィ
just pulling the bread out of the
ーオーブン
oven.
からパンを出してるだけ。
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
おーおーおー
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
何自分に愛する妻いない
Who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
入んない選択肢あんの
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
おーこれは絶対なんだ。おーびっくりした
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named
スタン
Stanley.
リーという男の死について語った。プレス O。O ですか
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
こんなとこに椅子置くな。M を押してください。
Look at him there, pushing buttons.
まさに言われた通り
doing
ボタンを
exactly
押している
what he's
彼を
told
見て
to
ください。
do.
おやかましいな。
Now
おい
he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
N 押してください。ちょっとうっとうしいな。M 押すか。おい、N 押せ、N 以外押せねえじゃねえか、ほんとに。
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
テレビを見る。あ、これかテレビ。P。
And so he began to
お
fantasize
ー、時
about
計に
his
なった
own
ぞ。
job.
時計になったって。
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had
おー、
suddenly
全員
vanished
地球上
off
から
the
姿を
face
消
of
した。
the earth. The thought
興奮しました。
excited him terribly.
少年たちと過ごすためにもうどういうこと少年出てき
So
た。
he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At
ついに
last,
選択です。
choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
なんだ
The
これ。
mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Wonderful。おー、これなんだこれ。
As he wandered through this
お
fantasy
い、食事
world,
の用意
he
するのに
began to
棚
fill
に
it
なった
with。many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
妻に愛を伝えるな。
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
おー、いなくなった妻。ああ !427 の部屋になってる。やばいこれやばいぞ。
And I'm trying to tell him this.
どんどん自
That
分
in
の部屋に
this
なってって
world,
る
he。can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to
押してはいけません。
do not do it.
こうしたらダメなのこう押さなかったらどうなるの時間か時間ですかあと2秒だな。おい。これいつまでだこれいつまでだこれ何分まで待てばいいんだこれ。25分か 押すなって言われたからな。なんだかお、もうそろそろいいだろう。もうええやろ。おい、何をしたらいいこれ。おい、もう押す以外選択肢ないやん、これ。
You see? Can he just not hear
押しちゃっ
me?
た。
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my
時間合っ
intended
てないしな。
purpose.
何の
The
ため
same
に
as
時間聞いたん
Stanley.
最初。
We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
死んでくださ
He
い。
pushed a button.
おい、
And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
おい。え、終わり？死んだ？おい、死んだって。あ、これ9時50。ちょっとちゃうな。何やった今の。
All of his co-workers were gone.
おい、頭おかしなってくるって。
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
も
simply
う一
missed
回
the
同じと
memo.
こ行ったらどうなるんだろうな。もう一回同じとこ行ってみる。ちょっと。あ、なんかこんな長かったっけ？あ、長かったか。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
今のよくわ
Perhaps
から
he
なかっ
wanted
た
to
な。
stop by the employee lounge
まあ全部よくわからないん
first,
だけ
just
ど。
to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
これ別のとこ行くとこあった？
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
あ、あっちあるやん。
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've got
あ、でもこれ
off on
無
the
理だった
wrong
な。
foot here.
あ、ちょっ
I'm
と待って
not
よ。こ
your
れ
enemy,
ジャンプ
really.
できるんじゃないこれ。
I
無理？
realize that investing your trust in someone else
こ
can
の
be
この
difficult,
この
but the
距離だったらい
fact
ける
is
とか
that
な
the
い？
story has been about nothing but you
気合入れていくよ、気合入れ
all
て。
this time.
ここ！
Someone you what? Really?
し
I
ゃ
was
ー。
in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a
チャンスをくださ
chance.
い。やだね。あ、
Now listen carefully, this is important.
なんか違うとこ来た。
Stanley walked through the red door.
赤いドアか。これ迷うな。カードキーない？ちょっと赤進んでみる？これ赤だし。赤行ってみる？
Oh, thank God you
お
are
ありが
willing
たい。
to
私の
listen to
話聞い
me.
たけど、今
Do
回
you
だけだ
see
ぞ。
that I really have wanted you to be
今回だけ
happy
だ
all
ぞ。
this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running.
お
just
い
the way
おい
you're
おい
doing
走り
right
まくる
now.
あなたが今やっ
Don't
て
you
たの
see
に。
that it's killing us,
おい
Stanley?
まさか？
I wanted to
お
stop.
いおいおいやってくれたな。
We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think, well,
解
I
決
think
策
I
あ
have
る？
a solution. Here,
お見せし
let
ま
me
しょう。
show you.
あ、これなんか2箇所ある。どっちから入ってきたんだ？おい、これどっちだ？何がしたいんだろ
What
う？
are we
何を探してんだろ
looking
う？
for?
やばいやばいやばい。 ああ、美しいですね。ああ、美しい、美しい。すごい、プラネタリウムや。ああ、すごい、すごい、すごい。ああ、すごい、すごい。あ、でもまだ進めるわ。ああ、すごい、すごい、すごい。ああ、ハッピー、ハッピー。I'm happy。どこ行くんですか？まだいた方がよかった。ああ、ハッピー。我々のとこにいたんです。ああ、ハッピー、ハッピー。あら、なんか、綺麗。ああ、綺麗。ああ、すごい、すごい、すごい。ああ、すごい綺麗。ああ、すごい。ハッピー。こいつまで見てればいい？もういい？まだ？ああ、あれがね、夏の大三角形というやつで、こう、三角、こうなってるやつ。よし。階段に近づかないで。死んでしまったらこのゲームリス。おう、どういうこと？ああ、そういうこと？落ちる選択肢しかないみたいな。やめてくれ、スタンリー。ここにさして渡す。これを私が奪わないで。いや、これはさっきやったもんな。ちょっと戻るか。これでもここ戻ってもあれだもんな。しゃあないな。なんだこの絵。まだやっとるって。用心するに越したことはない。ああ、もう戻らない約束。ただここにいて。おいおいおいおい、もうこれ何もできないやつじゃないこれ。永遠にこのオーロラを見ておかないといけないのこれ。やばくないこれ。赤だ。もう一回言ったらどうなるの？もうあかんわ。もう頭おかしなってきてる。やばい。あなたはここにいる。そうですね。おいおいおい、やばいって。これ何もできないやん。終わったやん。積んでるやん。積んでますやん、これ。なんなんこれ。ここ落ちれないの？落ちれないわ。この自由空間は落ちれないわ。戻れないしな。うわもうこれ落ちるしかないやん。バッドエンディングだ。いや、死なないかもしんない、ワンチャン。こいつは。あなたは死ぬのですよ。なんで通じてない？いいんか、ちゃんと死ぬ気で止めないと、俺のことを。もうちょっと死ぬ気で止めろ。ああ逃げてたほら、死んでない。他の部屋に戻りましょう。待って待って。
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy.
私たち二人が。なんか歩くの遅なってるぞ。怪我してるって。歩くの遅なってるよ。
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
別の部屋行けんのかな。おい、これ2回目飛んだら死ぬな、これ。1回目耐えたけどみたいな。あれ、これドアなくなってね。ドアなくなってるべ。この後か。ここだ。ダメだ。いや、お前なら2回目も生きれる。
Stanley, let's go back to the other room.
死ねない。あれ、なんかちっちゃなってないなんか。他の部屋戻れないんだが。
Yes, perhaps you can.
もう歩くの遅すぎて。
Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
この落ち着きを取り戻すしかない。あ
I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we
戻れない
leave
て
this place. You can see that, can't you?
おいおいおい、なんだこれ。骨潰れたかな。なんか背低くなってない？
No, perhaps not.
これだけでも取らせてくれ。この鬼滅の刃とのコラボ。無理だ。お、別の部屋行けないやん。
My God.
どんだけ私のゲームが嫌いなんです。
But you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over.
脱出するために。
You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
悲しいこれは。にゃー。
Or maybe you're just getting
スリルを楽しんで。
I don't know anymore.
おいおいおい
I
おい
just
おい。
wanted us to get along.
これあれか？
I
頭
guess
から
that was
落
too
ちて
much
ない。
to ask.
足から落ちてるからとか
Looks
そんな
like
こと
you
ある？
wanted to make a choice after all.
そんなことないよね。
Well, this one is
そんな
yours.
リアルなあれないよね。悲しいやんそんなん。これどうすんの俺。どうしたらいいの？あ、
Is it over?
あ、
It's going to restart, isn't it?
あ、悲し
I'm
い。
going back.
あ、悲しい。ああ、悲しい死に方だった。落ちる部位選べなかったよ。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
悲しい
Perhaps
死
he
に
wanted
方だ
to
った
stop
な。
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
ジャンプできないよ。
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
Love.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
これさっき左入ってどうしたっけ？あ、下の階行ったのか。
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've
これさっきの高さより低いぞ。死なないだろ、スタンリー。お、知ってるぞ。
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Hey.
What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your
絶対や
side.
だね。
Give me a chance. Now listen carefully.
大事な
This
こ
is
と？
important. Stanley walked
赤い
through
ドア
the
を通り
red
抜け
door.
ました。そんなことはないね。青だね。
Aha.
え？
Perhaps you
待て待て待
misunderstood.
て。
Stanley walked through the red
無
door.
限地獄入った。
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley
お
walked
いおいおい
through
おい、
the
赤いドア
red
しかないて。
door.
あ、待て待て。青いドアあるぞ。
All right, fine, go ahead.
いいぞ
Stanley.
いいぞ、どうぞ。
You
それ
wanna
そう
know
外に
so
何があるか知
badly
りたい。
what's out there? You
お
want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
あ、あ、あ。
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map
マップ
because
作
you
り
were
終わっ
never
てない。
supposed
そんな
to
こ
be
とあ
here
る。
in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
あ、
Was
す
it
ごい。
worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these
あな
strange
たの
and
欲を説明
unknowable
してください。
desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see?
ビークル。
Vehicles?
スキルツリー。
Skill trees?
Nice,
Work
sir.
with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go.
あ、
Third
第
option.
3の選択肢
This
来た。
already feels leaps ahead of
おい
where
おい
we
おいお
were
い。
before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
おいおいおい、これまだ解説、あれか？二択の地だな。 第3ステージ突入だ。
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience
新バージョン
with
使っ
this
た
new
感
version.
想。お、素
Would
晴
you
らしい。
say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
感想？これ5がいいの？ 1 が。
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express
メカニ
itself
カル、
mechanically
あ、
and
アーテ
artistically.
ィス
But
テ
a
ィル
one?
1
That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my
いや、
place
1
to
がいいって
judge.
ことよ。1がいいってこと。
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
おー、ゲームの中のゲーム始まったって。おー、なんだこれ。ワールドレコード ?2 秒で終わってんの？早すぎん？やばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。あ、やばいやばいやばいやばい。7時間37分。おー、僕ですかこれ。やば。エラー。おー、やばいやん。4時間も差あるって。もう一回言ったらいいの？あ、対戦のリーダーボードはどうなの？モチベーション役だった。あったあったあった。しゃあないな。3にあげとこう。
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play
新ゲーム
testing.
プレイできる。
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
マジですか？
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
ゲームの中でまたゲームする？
In this
ああ、
game,
赤ちゃんが
Lady
危険な方へ
crawls
ハイハイして進み
towards
ます。
danger. You click the button to move
赤ちゃん
him
右
back
に
to
戻
the
りま
right,
す。
and if he reaches
赤
the
ちゃんが火のところ
fire,
にいてしまう
you
失敗。
fail. It's a very meaningful game.
終わりなきことを退屈させる非常に意味深いゲームです。
confronting the
はいはいはい。
demands of family life. I think the
ハート界がざわつくと
will
思いま
really
す。
take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about
4
4
時間も
hours.
せなあかん
So
の？
why don't you give it 4
お、
hours
4
of
時間も
play
これ
to
せ
make
なあ
sure
かん
it's
の？
effective. Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
あ、やばいやばいやばいやばい。
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies
ボタン
or
押すの忘れ
purely
てたっ
to
て。
spite me?
ここからじゃ押せないや
If
ん。
it's the latter,
ここ
well,
じゃな
I
いと
don't
押せない
know what
の？
to do. I'm completely out of ideas.
赤ちゃ
I
ん。
can't think of a
すまん、
single
赤
thing
ちゃ
that
ん。
might improve the experience for
まあい
you.
いか。
I'm not even going to try. I'm out.
作り物やし。
I'm done.
ほら、
It's over.
終わっちゃった。
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh,
あ、いえいえ。
hey, since my game was so
あ、
awful,
いえいえ。
why don't we play someone else's
いえいえい
game
え。
just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here?
おい、次の。お前の鼻歌なんて聞きたないで。
Yes. This seems
よっ
like
しゃ、
it'll
次のゲー
work.
ム行きまし
Let's
ょ
give
う。
it a shot.
おい、まさか。やめろ。やめろ。え？
Aha.
おいおいおいおいおい。
What do you think this game is
おいおい、
about,
別
Stanley?
ゲー始まっ
What's
たや
our
ん。
backstory? What is our motivation?
おいおい、これはモチベーション上がるな。
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians
肝タワーから
below you
罪のない
from
市民を
up high in
偵
your
察
creep
する。
tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted
歪んだ性癖のために。
Hmm.
おいおい
Yes,
おい
that
おい。
must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental
こっから
depravity.
こっからいろんな人を
So far,
覗く
I
の
love
か。
everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
おいおいおい。なんちゅうゲームや。こんなとこに人いねえだろ。どういうことだ。お、ガスちゃんとあるやん。双眼鏡どこですか？双眼鏡。双眼鏡は おい、覗くものないやん。どういうこと？覗けるもんないけど。3ボールこれ。覗くのが仕事じゃないのこれ。こっちか？あ、降りれる。すごいな。完全に別ゲー始まったけど。新作試させてくれてるん。めちゃめちゃ優しいやん。それはダメ？それは無理？ここから先まだ作ってない感じ？じゃあ覗く望遠鏡ないけど。どこやったん？一回閉める。望遠鏡マジでないよな。でもなんかこういうとこいいな。結構憧れるな。割と。おいおい、こんなとこ誰か。風強っ。わ、自然だ。絶対こっちだ。オープンワールドゲーム始まった。
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. I really wandered off into that thing, that big open, just wandering around.
さまよいうろうろするだけ。
No path to follow. You can just go in any.
お、やばいうなっとる。
Thank heavens we avoided it.
あ、これ抜けれるぞ。
Okay.
他のゲームを探そう。
Let's find another game.
何やったんこれ。
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable
他覗くみたいな。なんて言ってた？なんか乗り越えられそうな壁がなんちゃらって言ってた。
I think this will be just the thing.
今探してくれてんの？サッカーゲーム。
See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
完全になんかサッカーゲーム。
Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game
ゲームデザイン
design.
素晴らしい。
Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we
具体的に何をするか見てみましょう。はい。
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously
あ、やっぱ
there's
サ
no
ッカー？
racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a
あ、なんか
ball
見た
of
ことあ
some
る気が
kind
する
back
な。
here. Is this game
ボール。
sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports
Oh.
ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we
ゴール
must.
したらいいの？
Okay, Stanley, here's the ball.
ボール？
Have
どこ？
fun.
ボール。ボール？あ、だ。ボーン。あ、なんか速なった足。あ、ボーン。オーケー。ボーン。いけ。やったー。
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
あ、ボールにこれた。
Yes. Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a crowd in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
もっとボール。おー、ボールいっぱい出てきた。うら。なんか。イエーイ。青飼ってます。ちなみに。
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
これ本当のテレビゲームですか？あ、そうですね。
Is this a real video game?
あ、
Well, I
はい
sure
だ。
hope you're having a good time because guess what? It's over.
終了です。
Right, your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So
Goodbye, Stanley. Oh, ちょっと置いていくな。
See how you like it when I'm around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it.
おお、いなくなるの？
You're an inventive
それはちょっと困るって。仲良くなれそうやったやん。
You're the one who knows best. Take care.
おお、いなくな
Stanley.
ったって。お、どこ行ったらいいん？あそこが？出口あそこが？放置プレイ来た。新手の放置プレイだ。見ろ見ろ。あ、いけねえや。あ、すごい。日本ある。すごい近未来チックなやつですね。お、放置されたって。ツンデレなんだからもう。
Hold on. What are you doing?
すぐ落ちるやん。ああああ、すごいすごいすごい。
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley.
やばい、ゲームのフラが起きた。すぐ落ちるやん。迷路だ。おー、やばいって。落ちたら終わりよな。落ちたらダメよ。こっちやな。よし。気合い入れていこう。今の落ちてない。全部パソコンの音ってこうゲームのパソコンの中なのか実は。その説ない。どこだここ。おー、どこだここ。全くわからんぞ。508。あ、427あるんだ。あ、光がこれ427か、まさか。425。まさか。ああマイホーム。んなんもねえ。なんだおい、なんの、あ
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes
確
with
かに
it.
俺は君
He'll
がいないと
understand
ダメだ
soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other
やっぱあなた
way.
は必要だ
Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
Very
I can
soon
wait.
I can wait 待ちます。なんか帰ってきたことが嬉しくなってきたな、なんか。なんか帰ってきたのが嬉しいぞ、ちょっと。あの世界から。これなんか洗脳されてる、これ。下の強調
Already
され
this
た
was。uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
おいおいおいおい。あ
Oh,
新コンテン
new
ツあれ
content?
ニューコンテン
What does
ツ
that mean?
来たニュ
New
ーコンテンツ。
content.
来たニューコンテンツ。あー、来たニューコンテンツ。あー、なんか来たね。あー、ハリーポッターあー、来た来た。
and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable
ああ、
Ultra
いえいえいえ、
Deluxe.
こちらこそ。
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in
あ、
2013
2013年
on
に
home
発売された
computers.
んだ。
After receiving critical and
ああ、
commercial success,
2022 年
it
に
was
拡張され
expanded
たと。
upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
あ、新コンテンツ、あ、そういうこと？
Please step inside and see
これ
what
新コンテンツってこと？その 2022 年版で新しいコンテンツになったってこと？それがこれ？
Oh, well, this sounds delightful.
おお、元を知らない
I'm
か
very
らな。
excited to see the thrilling new ultra deluxe content.
元のコンテンツは知らんがな。今までのが元のコンテンツやったんか？
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
おお、ワクワクすんな。待て待て、おい、エレベーターここまでって。おい、
Is it broken?
おい。
What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or oh, there we go.
Oh,
All
you
right,
got that.
finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Do it.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable
すごいな。
Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them.
ニューコンテンツだ。
Let's see the content. Give me the content.
コンテンツ
Stanley.
ちょうだいよ。欲してるやん、コンテンツ。おお、これか？
All right. All right, let's
ジャンプ
see.
サークル。
The jump circle?
おい、なんだこの。おおおおおおおお、ニューコンテンツジャンプサークル来た。ただここでジャンプをするためだけのサークル。ついに来た。ジャンプパターン。初ジャンプ。ナイス。ナイスジャンプ。え？終わり？なんか、景品とかないの？あれ？なし？ないか。
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content.
他にも
There
な
has
ん
to
かあ
be
るよね。
something
あるあ
else,
るある。
right?
ちょっと待てよ。
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley,
お
I
い
have
おいおい
to
お
say,
い。
initial impressions
こ
of
んな
this
もん
game
か、
are
新コン
not
テンツ。
positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait.
1000時間を超える？
Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for
あ、なん
whatever
か
it is.
ぽいの来たね。ぽいの来たよ。Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it?
おいおいおい。
Oh, you've got to
舐
be
めとんのか、
kidding me.
おい
You。see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan
舐め
base
とるやろ。
rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason
おい
other
おい
than
おい、
to
ほ
make
ん
an
とそれ
easy
だよ。
dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, Test achievement, please
本当にお前だよ。
ignore. What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and
Twitter
hold
で
them
見かけする。
personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what
The
the Stanley
Stanley
Parable is
Parable.
really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together
そう
like
だね。一緒に
always.
楽しい時間を過ごそ
What do you say, friend?
う。My friend。お、来た。ニューコンテンツ。ニューコンテンツ来ましたね。これだよ、これ。こういうの欲しがってたんよ。あー、これ昔ね。あー、一昔前のやつと。おー。
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to
見
show
せたい
you
ものがある
something.
と。うわ、すごい行きたいな。ちょっとこっち見ていい？こちら。うわ、こっち行きたいけど、やっぱこっちだな。見せたいもんがあると言われたら、それはもう。もうこんなとこでコーヒー飲むな。大丈夫か？ああ、落ちるやつだ。大丈夫か？しょ大丈夫か？おい。落ちた落ちた落ちた。
Okay, you remember how cheap
新
and
しいウルトラデラックス
unsatisfying
の
the
コン
new
テンツが
Ultra
結局安っ
Deluxe
ぽい納得できない
content
ことを
turned
覚え
out
てま
to
す。
be?
はい。
Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley
まだ落ちんの？
Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's
おー
developers won't find it. Just our
おいおいおい
little
おい
secret.
来たんじゃないかこれ。来たぞこれ。やばい、来た。結婚
I
結
call
婚パ
it
ターン？
the memory
メモリー
zone.
ゾーン。
It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak
結婚できんの？
experiences
つい
of
に。
my life whenever I want. Experiences
あー
like the launch of the
やっ
Stanley
た
Parable on PC.
やった、幸せになれるこれで。
Doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it
やっ
was
たやったや
sullied
っ
with
た。
a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the
記念
game
撮影するやつ
originally
これ。
launched? Back then,
これ違う？
video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
2013年だって昔だね。あ、ゲームだ。なんか幸せな、やっぱ白っていいね。幸せな気持ちになれるわ。おい、待て待て待て待て。おい、こんなもん飾るな、おい。待て待て。こんなワンシーンはいらないんよ。誰がこれ貼っていいって言った死んどるの見てるやつやっと。おー、これ、写真。他にも赤いやつあるんちゃうんかも、これ。大丈夫か？ああ、大丈夫だ。これだけは許されへんな、これ。慣れ初めか、これ。これ慣れ初めだからな、確かに。あ、そうだ、慣れ初めだ。何これ。あ、ハムちゃんだ。あ、ハムちゃん。ハムちゃん死んじゃったの？リトル・スタンリー。リトル・スタンリー？あれリトル・スタンリー？ちっちゃいスタンリー？あれ？おーおーこれが結婚式というやつか、これは。おいおいおいおいおいおい、来るのか？メアリーみたいなやつ。おい
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Already?
Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever
もうちょっと
created."
もうちょっとちょうだ
Did
い。
you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created.
あの歌もう
That's
ちょっと
how
ちょうだい。
grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
聞いてなかった、ごめん。この写真ばっかだな、おい。 マインクラフトってやつですかこれ。やったことないけど。こんなんもあるんかな。ここ見たね。ここ見たね。ここも見たね。エスケープも行ってないね。もう、これエンディングありすぎちゃうオンオフスイッチも見たね。これも全部見たね。今までやってきたやつだ。これ見たね。もうスマイリー見てないな。
Here's another moving passage. This time
何なんだからこれ。
The Stanley
これ
Parable
何なんこ
is
れ。
both a richly stimulating
ニュー
commentary
ス
on
か。
the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't
Perfect.
need anything else. It didn't need new content.
いやいや、コンテン
It
ツい
just
るって。
needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
いた。いけないけどジャンプできないし。Your number is 29。ちょっと待って。いけないよ。だけどいけないんだけど。戻るしかないの？え？
These were simpler times, Stanley.
こっち空いてる。
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait,
おいおい、wait!
I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Steam。
Oh no.
やばい。
No, Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the
販売
online
レビュー
video
集。
game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
おいおい、めちゃくちゃなこと書
Surely
かれ
these
てるんじゃ
reviews
ない
were
か。
glowing as well, weren't they?
おいおいおいおい、低評価されとる。
To play this game to full completion. The narrator is
ナレーターが深いで面白くない。
funny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny.
おい、取り乱す。やばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。
To make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
怒っちゃったよ。スチームの倉庫来た。えっ、おー、グッドあるやん、グッド。低評価。
Okay, let's see what this one
この意見を見てみようか。
While the
アイデア
idea
は良
of
かっ
the
た。
game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games,
説教臭さがひっきりなしにうるさい。
Preachy?
怒られ
Stanley,
る。
I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Goodness, this is actually
こ
quite
れ読も
shocking
う。
for
これいいやつだから。
I
読めない。
To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it. Well, I always
そうだな。お前はこのゲームを真剣に作ったんだな。
Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people
おい
down.
おいおい、やばいって。
Perhaps the Stanley
おいおい、あれ
Parable
読んだら
isn't
あか
quite
ん
as
気する
stirring
な
as I。always remembered.
他の道ないか。おい、これ読んだらもう海に飛び込むしかないってんだよ。
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing
あなたそっち
anything
何かすること
so the
って
narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there
ス
was
キップボタンが欲しい。
a skip button. Well, yes. Yes,
で
I
き
think
る
you
んだ、
could
ス
do
キップ
that.
ボタン。
If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these
やばいやばい、怒っとる。
reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my
やばいやばいやばい。
It's always been my motto. I do anything
あ、やばいやばいやばい。
for Stanley. Yes,
Ah,
a skip
that's all.
button we shall have.
おー、スキップボタン導入ナイス。スキップボタンナイス。あ、来たスキップボタン。
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot.
あ、スキップしちゃった。あー、なんか知らんけどスキップしちゃった。
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in
お前進みすぎやろ。おい、進みすぎやって。6時間経っとるって。
The minute I
Skip
started to go
しすぎや。
off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof,
次は
and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about
Cookie
this,
4
and
Cookie
whether
9
they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated.
おい、6時間は飛ばしすぎやろ。どんだけ喋っとんねんこいつ。
Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went. Okay, welcome back,
あ、で
Stanley.
も今度
Now,
1
I
時
should
間や。
say that the amount of time the
お
button
ー
has been skipping through is becoming longer and
どんどん
longer.
長くなって、これ
That last
12
one
時間かまさか。
I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's well, there's really only
6
so
時
much I
間
can
スキップされてなかった、
ramble
さ
on
っ
to
き。
myself about. I know it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do
もう
suggest
ボタン押さない方が
that
いい。
we not press the button again. I think
スキップボタンがあるからちゃんと証明
has
され
been
た。確か
aptly
に。
demonstrated, and we can say
確か
goodbye
にな。
to it.
ちょっとだけ
and just-
付き合ってやろう。
Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door
ドアど
go?
こ？
Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was
ここあった
one
よ
here
ね。ここあっ
before.
た。
How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere?
窓や
A
ポー
porthole?
トポール
A。sufficiently large crack
亀
in the
裂も
wall?
ないね。
I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away
スキップ
from
ボ
the
タンが
skip
離れていただ
to
い
go
て。
anywhere other than the skip
どっか移
button.
動。
There was a door here
ドアあり
before,
ました
wasn't
ね。
there? I swear there was.
どこ行ったんだ本当に。探せ探せ。
Just ram your way
もう
through
ワンチャン
a wall.
壁通り
Is
抜
there
ける
any
よ。
possibility that you could say slam your body into the wall until enough
Okay,
damage
壁に
is
体
done
当たり
for
ね。
you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here. We need a door. We need a door of some kind. I can work with any kind of door as long as it can open. Stanley!
あ、どうもどうもどうも。
Stanley,
あー、
please
ごめんごめん
don't
ごめん。
push the button
12時間経った。すまんすまんすまんすまん。ごめんごめんごめんごめん。あー、すまんすまんすま
I
ん
don't。know why the skips are getting
ご
longer,
めん
but
ごめん。
they're
ちょっとうる
really,
さくて。
truly getting longer, and my
体
God,
当たり
there's
してる
no
か
way
な
out
と思
of
っ
the
て。
room.
あ
Stanley,
ー、
the
消えちゃっ
door
た
is gone. It's
それ
completely
聞いたな、さっ
gone.
きも。
I've looked at it from every
全方向
angle.
探したよ
I've
俺
checked
も。
every one of
10
those
回ずつ僕
walls
1万回ぐらい
1,000
チェックしたよ。
times, and there's no
ドアないん
door,
よ。
Stanley.
椅子あっ
There's
た
no
これ。
door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no
一
idea
体
what
何
will
が起きるか
happen.
見当
I
つか
have
ない。
no idea
確
how
か
long
に。
I'll be made to sit here.
ここにずっといるわけにはいかないし、
And
こ
more
こ
than
壊せば
anything
いけるんじゃ
else,
ない
I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again.
ここね。
I
ここ
can't。control anything in this
こ
room,
こ絶対
Stanley.
外つながってるやん、
I can't touch
換気扇
it.
や
And
か
I
ら。
have to believe.
聞いてる
I have to know that
これ換気
sooner
扇。
or later, no matter
これ絶対
how
これ
much
つなが
I
ってるっ
plead
て
with
これ。
you, you're going to press the
これ。
button again. Why would you? I've been
考え
thinking
て。
and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God.
あのレビューのせいで
It's all
本
because
当
of
に。
those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative
実は
feedback.
一箇所。
Why was it so important for me to fix the problem?
なんかあ
Why
るか
did
もしれん。
Cookie 9's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie
本
9.
当に。
I have no idea who they are. What would it
やばい。
ever really
あ、
matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as
無理だ。
petulant as a child.
ナレー
Wild
ション。
and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break
ナレーションも2
anything
時だ。
unbroken. If
やばい
only
ぞ。
it pleases
早く帰んない
this
と。
one person who made a single negative
いい顔して。
comment. What does such an impulse serve?
ダメか。
For whose benefit is this? And here I am now,
24時間経つんか
waiting for you to press this button.
あなたがボタンを押せ時が止まる待っとるやん。
私
私はここから一人抜け出せないかな。全てのことをすぐつかなかった。
If only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision. as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer to leave me all alone.
おいおい、そんなこと言われたら押せねえじゃねえか。
Surely you'll press
私はここに置いてる。そんなこと言われたら
and surely you'll put your own
次を見たいという
desire
願望を
to
優
see
先さ
what's
せる。
next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of
そう
fitful
だな、
anxiety
俺とお前
that
の
you
中
sit
だ。
with me
こんだ
and
け一緒に
stay
な、
here.
ゲームや
Oh,
ってき
no,
て、
no, no, I know you too
いろんな
well.
ゲームやらせてくれてな、
You'll
本当に
be
ありがとう、
leaving
本当に。
me. Oh my God.
あのレビューのせい
And
で
it's
本
all
当
because
に
of
ね。
those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I
頭
just
が
couldn't
ね、
ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why? Oh, Stanley.
ああ、どうもどうも。あ
You're
あ、
back.
帰ってきました、帰ってきました。
Oh, my goodness.
ああ、すまん
I
すまん。
had someone to
ごめん
talk
ごめん
to
ごめん
again.
ごめん。あ
Stanley,
あ、ああ、1週間。ああ、気かれちゃったよ。
Deluxe.
気かれちゃ
I've
った
been
よ。
sitting here all that time,
お
just
ー
sitting here.
ごめんね。
Not a single
1週
person
間経
to
っちゃっ
speak
た。
with. And you'd
あ
think
あ、
that
1
that's
週
just
間も。
how it's always been,
スキップ
right?
しすぎちゃった。
Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me
確かに。
just talking? But it isn't
違うね、
so.
確
It
かに。
isn't the same at all. It isn't even
か
close.
つてない。
Because I know you can't
私の声聞
hear
けな
me
いって
once you push that
そうだ。
button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping
1年
track
後。
after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one
お、
entire
1年だ
year?
ったのか
Let me describe it for
だいぶ
you.
痩せたな
To。begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed
1年。
opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the
後悔が何も
longest
感じなか
time,
った。そうだ
Stanley.
な。
Days, months. I lost it all in a
ああ、
blur
つい
of
に。
the deepest longing to undo the past.
ついに後悔したか
And。when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust
素晴らしい。
simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I
もう
have
いい？
ever
ちょっと携帯い
known
じってたん
crept
だけ
into
ど。
my
もういい？
mind. And it
はい。
is
おいおい、喋んなくなった。やばい。10年ぐらい経ったんちゃうか。あ、監視カメラあるやん。時計も動いてないんじゃない？動いてないわ。やばいやばい。10年は経っとる。 換気扇も動いてない。あ、動いとる。ちょっとすごいな、日本製の換気扇って全然壊れへんやん。ナレーションいなくなっちゃった。こつしかないのか。次押したらめちゃめちゃ元気に出てきたらおもろいけどな。一周回ってね、最初の時間に戻るみたいな。どう？おいおいおいおいおいおいおいおいおい、ピーピー出し、おお、時計落ちとる。でも葉っぱなくなってないな。100年ぐらいか。あ、換気扇止まっとる。日本製の換気扇もついに。でも木がまだな、腐食してないからな。そんな経ってないか。椅子もまだな、壊れてないからな。15年ぐらいか。
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point.
おー、なんかうるさいの帰ってきたって。
The human condition. But where are the jokes?
あ、押せなくなってる。
They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because
また喋らんくなったよ。ごめんで。うるさかったわけじゃないのよ。ちょっとうるさかったけど。お、ちょっと水漏れの音するぞ。どこだ水。水漏れの音する。ん？どこだ？この辺で、あ、あ、ここだ。なんもなし。ごめんって。帰ってきてちょうだい。あ、帰ってきた。帰ってきた。お、やばいやばいやばい。バグっとるバグっとる。あ、バグっとる。バグっとる。ダブルンベイ、ダブルンベイ、ダブルンベイ、ダブルンベイ、ダブルンベイ、ダブルンベイ。ごめん。あ、水が大きくなってる。あー、水漏れがすごくなってる。やばいやばい。助けて。水漏れがすごいよ。助けて。ナレーション。おおい、水漏れでやばいことになってる。あ、もう出れるんじゃない？ついに。ついに出れる？崩壊しとるよ。ついに木もついに来たか。もうワンチャンス。 あー、空の光が、あ、見えるぞ。あ、やばいやばいやばい。次どうなるか当てようぜ。これ多分ね、次ここも崩れて、持てたりしない？崩れて、いや多分気づいたら自分も押しつぶされてるパターンだな、これ多分。なんかこれ、なんかこのアングルだけ、あ、影か。ようできとるな。そういえば影ない言うてたの、なんかさっきちらっと。自分押しつぶされるパターンに1票。おいおい、なんか神秘的な。あー、綺麗。あー、すごいね。何年経ったんだろう。あー、すごいすごい。あー、鳥も鳴いとるわ。あー、いい天気いい天気。あー、こういうなんかあれあるよね。おしゃれに見せかけたやつ。あー、綺麗綺麗。こんなんあった？こんなんあったっけ？誰か来た？あー、綺麗綺麗。次どうなるからね。多分ね、次、雨だね。次雨です。待って待って、5億年ぐらい進んだ？ 5 億年は進んだだろ、これ。5億年は進んだぞ、これ絶対。幸せどこ行った？ようボタン生きとるな、これ。スキップボタン。レビューのせいだぞ。おいおいおいおい。幽霊聞こえましたけど。おい、幽霊おるて。やばすぎるやん。やば。あ、やばい、スキップボタン。なんか、傾いてる。あー、出口。もう押せない？待て待て。おい、何もなくなってるぞ。おいおいおい。これは言っていいのか？自由だー。俺はやっと自由になれた。やったぞ。オープンワールドに来た。やった、こっちでいいのか？大丈夫か？やばい、蜃気楼が。あっおいおいおい、何エンドやった今の。ナレーションいなくなった、まさか。ああ、ナレーション帰ってきた。おかえり。ナレーションおかえり。帰ってきた。よかったよかった。君だけが頼りだった。終わるか、今日はこの辺で。これなんか永遠にエンドありそう、あるね、やっぱ。すごいね。待って待って、ニューコンテンツが、ニューコンテンツになっとる。ニューコンテンツの具合がレベル上がっとる。でもさ、こっちの方もさ、まださ、あるもんね。いろんなとこ行けるもんな。 やっぱ1000時間できるのかこれまさか。本当に1000時間、あ、なんか。あ、ここ入るなって言われとる。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
あ、こっち開いたっけ？あ、開いたわ。あ、こっち開いてなかったね。なんかパンダが。あ、ちょっと待って。上行けるんだが。下はちなみに。こっち行ったらさっきと一緒だけどね。下も行けんの？あ、上行っちゃった。おー、ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。スタンリーって言ってなかった今。スタンリー。長いな、どこまで行くの？あ、終われないって。終わろうかな。疲れたし。これでもちゃんとさ、保存されてるんかな？大丈夫か？最初からとかなんないよね。これなんか男のナレーションの声じゃないこれ。なんだこの若干歌ってるこの感じ。ドゥドゥドゥドゥ。お、これ何これ。あ、着いた。あ、帰ってきた。何やったんこれ。下はなんなんこれ。お、下行ってるこれ。上じゃないこれ。なんなんこれ。これ何要素なんこれ。何要素なんですか。
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
聞いた
human
聞いたそ
life.
れ。
What could it mean?
何番や
Stanley
ったっけ。
wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for
何番だっ
clues
た。
to his situation.
2。
But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet.
2785じゃな
And
か
so
っ
the
た。
boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number,
あ、2845惜しい。
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened
私は
to
天
input
才
the
なのだ。
correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
これ上にも行けんのかな。あ、上は行けないんだ。あのニューコンテンツにも行かないといけないんかな。これ気になるけどな。黄色。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
これエスケープじゃどうなるんやろね。
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall,
企
Stanley
業
would
の
meet
死
his
を
violent
告げる
death.
遂げる。どういうことだ。 落とし
The
たの
door
か
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn
いや、
around
俺は
and
こっちを
get
行く
back
ね。
on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious,
気合
concerted
だ、
effort
気合。
to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
死ぬん。おい、待て待て待て。また落ちるやつか。お、落ちるやつやん、これ。うん。どうだ。これ落ちるやつですか？落ちるの好きな。あお、生きてる？あ、生きてる。
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and
おい
closer
おい、
to
待て
his
待て待て。
demise,
それだけはよしてくれ。
his life had been
しゃがんでたら大丈夫じゃないか？
whatsoever. Stanley can't see
お
that
お、それだけはやめてくれ。
he doesn't know the real story. Trapped
それはダメ
forever
だ。
in his narrow vision of what this world is.
あかん。
Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a
Ah,
blind
God.
man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this
や
violent
ばいやばいやば
end
い
to his brief and shallow
やばい。
life.
前のやつが。あー、持ってかれた。やばい。やばい。あ。
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
お。助かった。助かったぞ。助かった。
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game.
それでもこのゲームを再開して相変わらず元気にオフィスに戻っ
What
てくるんです。
exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he
スター
hit
トした瞬間
start?
彼はもうすでに死んでいた。何？これはゲームの中なのか？風景が。おいおい、これはなんだこれは。あああおい、クレジットあるって。終わり？高専地帯。おいおい、こんなとこもまだあるってことなのか？ファン。おいおい、これやり込んだら何日遊べるんだこれ。出口。もう不思議だな、ここも。
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy
なんで
one
ナレーション
another.
変わったんそれ
How
よ
they
り。
wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
おいおいおい、まだ潰されるやん。
You can
待て待て
still
待て。
save these two.
聞いてない
You
ぞ
can。stop the program before they both fail.
聞いてないぞ。
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way.
エスケープだ、終了。おい、あら。
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop.
ゲーム終わっちゃうよ。
Be your
あ
only true choice. Whatever you
もう一回止まるでしょ。
choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
あ。止まんなかった。終わっちゃった。潰された。というわけで 日はこの辺で。まだまだできそうですね。ということで、また。ちなみにプレイ時間何時間ぐらいいけるんだろうな。プレイ時間について追加要素だけで4時間と書いてありますね。ああ、6から7時間ぐらいで終わるんだ。一応。なるほどね。らしいです。どこまでがあれなんかわかんないけど。不思議なゲームでしたね。また。まあ、もう一回、1、2回ぐらいかな。時間あるときにやろうかなと思いますんで。最後の上がリアルだ。また、よかったら遊びに来てください。よいしょ。それでは、終わりたいと思います。それではまたお会いしましょう。お疲れ様でした。バイバイ。